Coach's Corner
is a lot better than Johnny Be Good. The pillars of the community. I like that.
But hey, it's Christmas time. We've got to set good examples.
We got a tree behind us, man. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Hey, we have a great show planned for you tonight. We're going to talk some baseball. There's obviously a lot of baseball to talk. We're going to talk a little college football. We're going to talk some college hoops. We're going to talk some high school hoops. So make sure that you hop along on this show and enjoy it. I mean, give the number or the text that they can text in for questions, Johnny Be Good.
574-366-2488.
Yeah, right. It's right across the screen there. And so I think we already have about 7 questions. I want to tell you about Magic Mind. It's a nootropic. It's great for your mind. It relaxes you. It causes you to think. There's no more Prevagen.
No more Prevagen. Okay.
Anytime
well,
Pat
you're the
brings it up.
You're the one that brings it up.
I only bring it up because I say something. You go, huh?
I forget.
Huh? That's what Magic Mind is for.
Okay.
MagicMind.com/Ron. You get $20 off, man. It's great stuff. So, yeah. I mean, your boys at Frick's Driving, man, they're amazing, right?
They are, and we're still driving here during the winter. The snow makes no difference. And if you give Doug a call, give Jolene a call down at the office, schedule stuff. Mostly we're driving right after school right now. Now, during Christmas, we're going to drive during the day. So, yeah, if the kids are in town, if they're not at Grandma's opening presents, if they're back in town, we're going to drive at 9, 10, 11 in the morning, drive all day. So they need to get 6 drives in, and that's all part of it. And then they actually take the driver's test there at Frick. So it's a nice deal for everybody. And, give them a call and ask questions and get yourself signed up.
Yeah, and Bar Louie's, man, what a place to host this show, right?
Yeah, and we're downstairs, as you can see tonight. They've got Christmas parties upstairs on the 2nd floor. They've got Christmas parties on the 3rd floor. So they actually stuck us in one of the corners here. And, I mean, the place is huge. And, there's not too many open seats down here. The bar's crowded. We've got, there's 4 TVs here, 5, 8. There's 10 TVs right around the bar. We're sitting here watching the Clemson Notre Dame soccer finals. So they've got that on. They've got some Monday night football previews going on. So Tuesday night is our hamburger special. So if you're in town, come by Bar Louie and try them out.
Don't you like when I just I put stuff on a tee for you? I set it on a tee, and it's all set for you to knock it out of the park.
I'm trying to just hit it straight.
No, I love doing that.
I've given up trying to hit it too far, but if I can just keep it in the fairway, I'm good.
I've given up trying to make you think your way through things. I just put it on a tee.
It's kind of like
and you smoke it.
Kind of like the attorneys do for the defense people. You put the words in their mouth and say yes.
That's exactly what we try to do now. Hey, let's jump into this baseball deal right now. And I know a lot of people, when they initially heard this, they kind of freak out and they say, are you kidding me? Nobody's worth this money. Shohei Ohtani signs a 10-year, $700 million, not $700,000, 10-year, $700 million contract with the Dodgers, which comes to $70 million a year, which is the highest pay for any athlete in any sport. And and you're talking about the soccer stars. You're talking about and to put this in perspective. Okay, here's the best way to put this in perspective. The San Francisco Giants or the San Francisco 49ers are a great NFL football team, right?
Sure.
Their quarterback is Brock Purdy, right? Right, Johnny Be Good?
Yes. He's very Purdy.
Brock Purdy makes $875,000 a year.
A year. Yeah,
to get his brains beat in, to get concussed, to get CTE, to get smoked, to get hit.
And he might be on maybe the best team in the NFL right now. And he's playing pretty well.
Shohei Ohtani will make $876,000 in 2 games.
In 2 games.
2 baseball games. 2 baseball games. And here's the beauty of it all. He hit 304 last year. So out of 10 at-bats, he fails 7 times. He succeeds 3 times, and with 44 bombs. Now he's undergoing Tommy John surgery.
Right. Already finished. He's rehabbing.
And you think, that'll be fine. But next year he'll be paid $70 million just to hit.
Now the drama of all this, along with the money, is everybody thought he was going to Toronto. And
I don't think he was ever going to Toronto, to be honest with you.
The media is trying to lead you to believe that basically the Dodgers kind of pulled the rug and stole him and so forth. And I also noticed money-wise, he makes twice as much as LeBron will ever make. I was looking. There was a graphic they had on LeBron James with some stuff. I remember you talking about money, that he will make more money on this contract than LeBron will ever make.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I think it's a contract for the ages, and do I think any of those guys are worth that kind of money? Absolutely not.
Well, it just shows you how much money's involved in big time sports.
Yeah, but when I heard the figures of what he brings into a team, what he brought into the Angels last year was $100 million in revenue from advertising, from food, from people coming to the games, and his products. He's $100,000 to the good. I'm sorry, $100 million to the good of the team that signs him per year.
That's too many zeros. And think about when he's on the road, the tickets for when he was on the road, when he would go to the National League teams. He goes to San Diego. They come to the Cubs. They go to have a game in Cincinnati. How many people wanted to come to those games to see them play?
Yeah, and also puts in perspective, the whole payroll for the whole Oakland Athletics team per year is $56 million. Okay, Shohei makes $70 million himself.
Right.
The payroll for Baltimore, and Baltimore was good last year.
Yes, they were.
Matter of fact, Baltimore went farther than the Yankees. Baltimore, their payroll is $60 million. Shohei makes $70 million.
I know.
The Tampa Bay's payroll is $73 million.
And he's making $700.
Yes, but $70 million for the year.
$70 million for the year. Yep.
And so, but I think the beauty of all this for the Dodgers is he was willing to defer some of this money.
Wow.
And
yeah.
From what I gather and from what I understand, he deferred in a yearly contract, or what he was going to take in a year was $2 million. So every year he would defer $68 million. Now.
So what's that do?
Well, that gives him money when he leaves the game, but it also the competitive tax that each major league team has to pay if they go over a certain figure. So it only counts $46 million, and I say only, but instead of counting $70 million against the Dodgers, total payroll, it only counts $46 million. Now what that does to the Dodgers is they can go and they can sign Cody Bellinger if they wanted to for $300 million.
That's where I was hoping you were going. I was trying to put it on a tee for you to see if you'd say that.
You set that up for me, and they can sign the Japanese pitcher.
That gets them.
All right. Pronounce that name for me.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I can do the Yamamoto.
Yoshinobu.
I can do the Yamamoto.
And they're saying he's going to sign for $300 million. So
bottom line, it allows them to go get other players.
Can still buy players.
They can go get more players.
Their deal is going to be that at the end from 2000 and I believe 25 or 2026 to 2034 is when they got to make all that money.
And you look at some of these other teams; they have they spend so much money on one or two players, they can't go out and get other people. And maybe are the Yankees examples of that? The Yankees have got so many big money players. Of course, their salaries through the roof, but they can't get to the playoffs because they've got 3 or 4 players, but they can't fill in behind them because they don't have enough money.
The Yankees. So when you talk about the most payroll in Major League Baseball, the Mets have a payroll of $355.5 million per season. 355.
Wow.
The Yankees are second in the major leagues at 276.9. 100 million.
That's a lot of money.
100 million. Now the Texas Rangers, and I know we got our guy here, Scotty.
Scott's here, yeah.
He lives 5 minutes from the ballpark.
Pretty much.
The Texas Rangers, payroll is 195 million, and so it does take money. It does take money to field a competitive team, but look what Tampa Bay does every year with the $73 million payroll, and they do it every year by having a great farm system and by bringing good young kids up. And then when it comes time to pay those young kids, they trade them.
They trade them.
They trade them.
That's right.
Well, yeah, no, they lose in the first round, exactly. But so did the Yankees. So did the Braves. So, it is what it is.
Well, and 2 weeks ago, the big news was Juan Soto. You were talking about him, San Diego. Where's he going to go? He went to the Yankees with a trade, and San Diego gets 5 different players: Michael King, Drew Thorpe, Johanny Brito, Vasquez, and how do you say that one? Kyle Higashioka.
You seriously?
That's good enough.
No. Kyle Higashioka.
Okay.
Kyle
That's
Higashioka.
what I said.
He's a catcher. He's a catcher.
But that was the big trade prior to this.
Yeah, but let me throw this at you. The Yankees give away 5 great prospects.
Yes, prospects.
5 great prospects.
For a shortstop.
For 1 year. For 1 year of Juan Soto, because Juan Soto is a free agent next year. Now, is there a guarantee? Is there a guarantee that he signs with the Yankees? I don't know that. Maybe he gets to New York and he does what half of the players that get to New York, the pressure that is put on players that play for the Yankees, is immense. Now, there ain't no pressure to go play at Texas. At Texas, there ain't no pressure.
Right.
They just go play baseball. Corey Seager, those guys, and they get a ring. But in New York, if you don't perform, the tabloids, the media, they're all over it.
And that's
guys.
That's why you just said the Mets and the Yankees have the highest payroll because of expectations.
And will Soto perform there? Yes. I don't know this.
Will he do it?
And will he be able to take the heat every day if he goes 0 for 4, if he has an 0 for 4, if he leaves runners in scoring position, if the Yankees aren't winning? So the Yankees give up 5 quality players, and maybe Juan Soto signs with the Cubs next year. Who knows?
You don't know.
But with the contract that Ohtani signed, there's going to be no more $200 or $300 million guys.
Right.
They're all going to figure out how to defer money, and they're going to go for $400,000.
And that'll be part of the negotiation with their agents. They'll say, "We'll give you the money, but it's going to be spread out over 20 years."
Yeah, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah,
and
what's wrong with that? I think it's a great idea.
It bothers me that more teams haven't employed that strategy to do that.
And it seems to me, jumping to the NFL, seems some of the quarterbacks have restructured their contracts to defer money out, so the teams can maybe go get a running back or go get a wide receiver or go get him a left tackle forward to protect him.
Yeah,
and I've seen that over and over, and they do it so quietly that it doesn't stay in the news very long. But those are some things that some of the quarterbacks have done here in the last 10 years.
So some of the media came out and talked about Friday, and Friday was a bad day for media because the media panicked 150%. They were thinking that Ohtani was on a plane heading to Toronto. As a matter of fact, they had him on a plane. They had the plane. They tracked the plane.
They tracked it.
They went to the airport. They waited at the gate. Shahani wasn't on that plane. And the stuff that the media people made up and said. So I was listening to a guy I listen to all the time. His name is Bruce Levine. He's out of Chicago. He does a baseball show every Saturday of the year. Whether it's in June or whether it's in January. And his comment was, it was a bad day for the media because the media looked
struck out
bad. And they They reported things that weren't even close to being true, and I don't even believe that Toronto was that involved. I think so. I know the Cubs went to 575.
Okay.
The Cubs went to 575, and when it went past that, and flew by that. Now it didn't go 576.
Yeah,
it flew by that.
Yeah, they buy 107.
Yeah.
So that's your
is that
baseball.
good for baseball? Is it good for baseball? Tell me.
Sure it is. Sure it is. I mean, but right now they're chasing the Rangers, aren't they?
Yeah, but is it good for baseball? Because in order to pay that, ticket prices are going to go up.
Stay the same way they are. People are just going to go to the ball games because they're going to want to go see him.
So, Johnny, be good. Is it good for baseball? Is that contract good for baseball?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
Too much money for just one player. I'm sorry. That's going to raise ticket prices.
They deferred it. They deferred it.
Okay, well.
They deferred it.
I still don't think it's good for baseball.
I think it'll work out.
So what do you think of the next great superstar? What's he going to want to get? 800 mil?
At least
800 mil?
I think we're going to be getting up into these, billion-dollar ranges pretty soon.
I mean, with our show here, so what can we start looking forward now at our show?
Well, it depends how much money we get from our Magic Mind endorsement.
Well, we make $6 a show. Can we get that up to 8, you think?
I think we might go $6.75.
All
really.
right, man.
It's a progression.
Whatever.
It's a progression.
Yeah. Hey, I want to take a minute here. I want to thank a couple of great sponsors. And first of all, tell me the story how you hooked up with Pat Hahn.
We were at a event downtown Mishawaka at the one of the local establishments. Matter of fact, it was one of your college buddies, John Woodruff.
Munchkin.
Yeah, Munchkin. His son was in town. Christopher is assistant athletic director at Dodge City Community College.
Yes.
He's in town. So mom and dad used that as an excuse to have some people over, a lot of coaches and family friends. Well, Hahn Funeral Home is like 3 properties away from where Woody lives. They're in downtown Mish. And they were there, and I was there, and we said hello to each other and started gabbing and talking.
So did you introduce yourself to Pat Hahn? Or
yes, sure. I got a picture with him.
No, I know.
Got a picture with
And did you tell him we do commercials?
And he knows we do commercials. I said, hey, thank you. I said, thank you. And he kind of looked at me like, he gave me one of those looks like, okay.
Yeah,
like
and then you told him Aaron's name is Bugsy.
I told him about Bugsy, how great I thought it was that Bugsy was down there and that he was keeping an eye on him. Next thing you know, he's on his phone going, Bugsy? Question mark.
He did. He did.
So we had a good time with that.
I think it's great that you ran into Pat. Pat is a wonderful person. The loss of a loved one can leave you with lots of unanswered questions and stress. At Hahn Funeral Homes in Mishawaka, we're here to help. Our focus has always been on the families that we serve. At Hahn Funeral Home, we stand ready to meet your needs and exceed your expectations when selecting a funeral home. Our experienced funeral directors and staff will be there for you every step of the way for your funeral service and needs. Stop in and see the great Pat Hahn. Thanks to Tony Letcher with Health Markets Insurance, man. Whether you need help with your health insurance or Medicare, and Medicare enrollment just got done the 7th of December. So now, hopefully we can get Tony on the show. He was really busy getting people signed up into Medicare and helping them out. It's the time you get the right coverage for the right price. Call Tony today at 574-307-8882 or visit the website at tletcher.com, tletcher.com. Yeah, they scan the QR code on the screen, and you will be able to.
Scott will leave that up there for you.
Get right to Tony and give him a call. I forgot to mention about our music coming in, man. The Black Sedan Band.
Get the family involved.
The Black Sedan Band from Birmingham, Alabama. Speaking of the family.
Tell us about the state finals in
Speaking
Atlanta.
of the family, Jeremy Hecklinski, the great quarterback at Walton High School, they are in the state championship game.
And they're playing
7A. They're playing Milton High School out of Georgia.
Is that who you said they were going to play?
They're playing Milton in the 7A state championship game. And the game will be 7 o'clock Wednesday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta.
Which is where the Falcons play.
Okay. And you can catch the game by going to YouTube and then just type in the 7A state championship game, and it'll be on TV.
Subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, exactly. And here's the deal. In the semifinal game, Jeremy Hecklinski was 22 for 24.
He's putting up numbers, isn't he?
354 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Wow.
So he's going to Wake Forest. He's staying with that. He's staying with that. And here's so when we talk about college football for a minute, here's kind of what happens now with high school quarterbacks. I don't think Notre Dame. I don't think now he had a couple coaches try and flip him, but I don't think that the high school recruits are getting flipped as much, because if they want a quarterback, they're just going to go to the portal now.
Right.
There are so many good quarterbacks in the portal that it's not even funny. And speaking of that, you got to believe that Notre Dame is going to get Riley Leonard, the quarterback from Duke, right?
Well, we can jump that direction right now. We can talk college football. Oh, by the way, John Dillman, how you doing? We got to say hello to some of our Alexandria and Anderson people.
JD, what's shaking, baby?
Hello, boys. I see you. So John's in here, and that's great. We got people down there in the Anderson area listening to us.
They got nothing else to do,
Chad
man.
Virginia also logged on the broadcast sports site, so say hi to Chad.
There's
Virginia.
Chad. Yep.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Here's the deal
Chad's
with Chad.
working on his mayoral candidacy
Run
for a couple
next year.
years.
Yeah, for a couple years down the road.
Down the road.
But I get a message from Chad today, and he says, North Carolina Wilmington on December 2nd go into Kentucky, and they play the Wildcats.
Right.
North Carolina Wilmington ends up beating Kentucky 80-73. And that's our bad. That's our bad that we did not take that and put that on the show, because that's a hell of a win for North Carolina Wilmington.
Yes, it is.
And so he's going, they're going into Kentucky. What's Rupp Arena seat? Probably 23,000. So UNC Wilmington seats 5,000. They go in.
So does Penn High School.
Their record is 7-2, and they end up beating Kentucky. That is a great win.
Well, I was close.
That is a great win for UNC Wilmington, man.
Well, that's what we're looking for, people to give us calls and let us know about that stuff. Hey, let's just talk about Notre Dame real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on them, because whatever we say today is going to change tomorrow. But the quarterback decided today, I'm not playing, which I said last week. Why is he going to play? He's not going to play. One, he doesn't have anybody to throw the ball to, because they've all left. Two, if he gets hurt.
So Sam Hartman is not playing.
Sam Hartman decided today, I'm going home.
It's peanut butter and jelly time.
I'm going home. So Angeli is now the starter. Now,
and Kenny Minchie is the backup.
So you tell me about Angeli right now. This is his audition. To me, this is his audition. He's going to be.
His audition for what?
Where he's going next year.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
where he's going next year.
And I know. You know, right. And I know. This will be his last game at Notre Dame, because if they bring in your Duke quarterback you're talking about, that's a message to him that says we have no plans. You're the backup next year.
Well, and then C.J. Carr's coming in, the grandson of the great Lloyd Carr, longtime coach at Michigan,
right.
who's a great high school quarterback.
So he'll come in for a year or two, sit there
for a year, and
then he'll end up transferring, probably go to Michigan.
Yeah, well, it's just. There's no rhyme or reason anymore.
So
why players will stay?
Yeah, there's no. If you're not playing, go somewhere else.
It's about one thing. It's about one thing. What's it about?
Money.
Show me the green.
So and
I like that.
Angeli, come on, Johnny Manziel. Angeli will play, and that will either raise or lower his stock depending on how well he does at the Sun Bowl, and then that will open things up, and he might play in the spring game, he might not, but I would say the spring game that'll be the next over under. Will he play in the spring game, or will he still be around here for the spring game? And I think a lot of that's going to happen.
I just don't know.
Here's what's going to happen. When they play on the 30th in El Paso, and the portal closes on the 4th, somewhere between the 30th and the 3rd or 4th, somebody's going to say, hey, come play for us at San Diego State. Come play for us at Tulane or someplace like that. I don't think he's going to go big time
Oh,
He's going to go sit on the bench again, just like Buckner did at Alabama.
No, and the Alabama experience did a lot for Buckner, didn't it?
Yeah, he's coming back to Notre Dame. He's going to play lacrosse.
He's going to play lacrosse.
Yeah. So how's that work for you?
Yeah. Now Riley Leonard had a better year last year. He was hurt this year. I think he only played 7 games this year. But he's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Notre Dame
and so was
got
Hart.
commitments.
So was Hart.
Notre Dame got commitments from 2 receivers today. Chris Mitchell, 6'1", 175-pound junior from Florida International, caught 64 balls for 1,100 yards, 17 TDs, and a 17.5 average. They also got a commitment from Bo Collins, a 6'3" receiver from Clemson, who will be a grad student next year. Had 38 catches for 510 yards, 3 TDs. So go with Greathouse and Jaden Thomas.
Yeah, I was going to say, who do they have left? Didn't you see he had a football question about Notre Dame coaches?
Yes, I do. We can answer that if you want.
We might as well throw that in here right now.
So this came from Greg in South Bend. Why do you think? Oh, wrong question. Hello. How does Mike Brown fit in as the Notre Dame wide receivers coach? Now he comes in and he's actually taking over for the bowl game. That's kind of unusual. How do you think he does?
Well, Chancey Stuckey was a receiver at Clemson. He was the receivers coach for a couple years here under Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman came out, I don't know, about a week ago, maybe 10 days ago, and made a comment that I love my whole coaching staff. I'm keeping my coaching staff intact. Nobody is leaving. And then the next day he came out and he says, I had to fire Coach Stuckey. So, I mean, I don't know where you want to go with all that stuff. But they bring in Mike Brown.
Yes.
And where's Mike from?
Wisconsin. Not exactly your biggest passing.
No, it's not like he's coming from BYU and Jim McMahon
where
played.
They throw it all over the yard. No.
Or Ohio State. Could have been the quarterback coach at Ohio State that got the quarterback canned.
But no. John, you're making a point. He's jumping in right now.
Coming in from Wisconsin, jumping in right now. I'm going to practice with the guys for the bowl game.
I mean, I like that.
Okay.
I think it's a good idea. The thing is, he's only how many guys are there? What'd you say? They got 2?
2.
Greathouse and Jaden Thomas.
I think they have 2 scholarship wide receivers.
Well, then they have 2 that were hurt at the beginning of the year. So there's 4.
They didn't redshirt them.
No.
It's because I made a smart remark to John earlier about. Maybe they'll get a couple defensive backs.
You wise ass. Are you making wise ass remarks again?
He did that to me today, yes.
Did you call him a wise ass?
I did.
Thank you. That's the name of this show, you wise ass.
That's an improvement because last week I was a dumbass.
Yeah, well, no, you're never a dumbass. You just need to take Magic Mind. So, speaking of Magic Mind.
$20 bucks off with the code wrong.
You're interrupting my important thought here. There it is. Go ahead. I thought they might bring some defensive backs over and say, "Hey, I need you to be, play a little wide receiver this week. You may have to play both ways for this bowl game."
Yeah. Okay. So I got a
who are you going to throw to?
I got a thought on this bowl game, on these bowl games. And I'm archaic. I'm old. I have old philosophies, old thoughts, old loyalties, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's an honor for Notre Dame to accept that bowl invitation. Those people that are going down to that game in El Paso are spending good money buying tickets, and they're going down to watch Notre Dame win a bowl game. The same thing with the team they're playing. Those fans are coming down.
Your loyal fans are going, but marginal fans, I think they're staying home. They're saying, I'm not spending all this money to go down there and see a team that we don't even know where to get a program at to see who the players are.
So here's my question. Will these bowl games, one of 2 things. Will these bowl games be a thing of the past? Because the people that sponsor those bowl games, they have to make money. It's a money-making business.
Sure it is.
So will they be a thing of the past, or will the NCAA put into those scholarship athletes when you sign this scholarship at Notre Dame, you will play in that bowl game after the season's over. And you can enter the transfer portal and you can do all that stuff after the bowl season. Because here's my question. Who's leaving for Michigan? Is every player from Michigan playing?
They hadn't really been a topic yet. Have you? I have not heard.
Yeah, they are, because they're playing for the national championship.
They're not going to leave until after they're done.
Yeah, every player for Alabama playing?
They'll probably won't.
You betcha they will.
They won't leave till spring practice.
You betcha.
When the next transfer opens up in the spring.
Yeah.
Now, here's one thing that haven't really thought much about. We haven't seen it. But next year's playoff system with 12 teams is going to take at least 3 weeks to play. That's a lot of bowl games.
Yeah,
so
because it takes it down to 6.
A lot of these bowl games, like the Sun Bowl that Notre Dame's going to this year, that may be like round 1 of the playoffs next year. So it will give those bowl games more validity. So those bowl games are pretty much surviving right now. The trick will be, ask us next year, if let's just say Notre Dame's team number 11 next year in the playoffs. So they're in the playoffs. Will these players still leave?
Well, that's the question. That's the Magic Mind /
Will they still leave?
$20 off your order question. And I'm just saying,
and we're just using Notre Dame for an example.
Well, yeah, but people watch those games, and
us old timers, we watch them thinking they're going to try to win, right?
Yeah, I'm cheering my ass off for them.
Well, now
I'm rooting.
Now
I'm a fan.
Now you got players
Scott's going to watch. Yeah, no, he's going. He's going to be rooting his rear end. Here's the question.
He'll be at Jerry World.
Okay, here's the question. Is Marvin Harrison playing in the game? No. Well, I don't know. I don't know. When Joe Montana played in the Cotton Bowl many years ago, Joe Montana at the end of I know everything's run by money. I agree.
Well, and I already saw some of the numbers they're throwing at Marvin Harrison to stay. Ohio State's throwing big numbers at him.
He's gone
to stay.
He's here today, gone to Muncie.
They want him to stay. They're throwing. They're throwing big.
That's a good one. No, I had not heard
big
that.
Numbers.
He's here today, gone to Muncie.
All right. Well, we've killed that one.
Well, no. So I think this is really cool, and I think this is really cool. Howard Cross is a defensive tackle for Notre Dame. He's second team All-American. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you knew that. Number 56, Howard Cross, second team All-American. He said, he's played 5 years. He said, I'm staying at Notre Dame playing my 6th year because I want us to play for a national championship, and I'm staying to do it.
Well, God bless him.
God bless him. God bless him. But so then I started digging into it.
Yeah.
On the first team.
Why is
on
he
the first
staying?
team? There's 22. There's 22 players on the first team on the AP All-American team, right?
Right.
7 of them are either 5th-year players or 6th-year players.
We're still dealing with the COVID years, aren't we?
Yeah. No. That's. People don't think about that.
They stuck around. Yeah, you're right.
they don't.
You got 23 and 24-year-olds playing college ball right now.
But why not?
Oh.
Why not? Because you're getting paid.
Yeah.
I say this as a joke, only maybe as a joke. 3 hots in a cot. Got your chicks, you got your girls,
and now you got money.
You go to class.
Now you got a paycheck,
and you got $800,000. 3 hots in a cot, $800,000. Your girls. Why not stay? Why not stay? That's what I say. We got a question.
Oh, across the bar is sitting out and getting ready to be drafted by the Bears. Well, that's your boy.
No, I know.
That's your boy.
I love Q. And Q's 100% right. We're going to talk NFL here in a bit, too.
The first pick or the third pick?
Well, I don't know yet because we may end up in the playoffs. But I'm going to save that.
Oh, that's right. They did win this week.
Hey, I'm going to save that.
Who they beat this week?
Johnny B. Good knows who we beat.
The old Detroit Lions. I don't want to talk about it.
It should. I don't want to talk about it.
I'm not listening to you.
It should have been 2. They should have beat him twice. They had him in the other game.
That's a good point. They did.
Can he be bad?
Just take your number 2 pick and go.
No, it's a number 1 pick.
Well,
it's a number 1 pick because they got Carolina.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, just take your number 1 pick and go.
Keep cheering for Carolina to lose, right?
So Chase Daniels, LSU Heisman winner. He's a fifth-year player. Accounted for. Okay, listen to these numbers. He accounted for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns this past year. 5,000 yards. Excuse me?
Jaden.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Jaden Daniels. Thank you very much.
He might need some magic mind.
He just can't read his writing.
I do need magicmind.com/Ron.
$20 off. Yeah.
$20 off.
Oh, by the way.
But is that an indication that Brian Kelly can coach quarterbacks and can coach mobile quarterbacks and let them get out and run the football?
It's a good point. I mean, the man left Notre Dame, and in 2 years he's got a Heisman Trophy winner.
I think it's great. I think it's great. I thought him taking that job was great for him. The only thing I hated about that whole deal was when he tried to put the accent. And he tried to dance like he was hip hopping and with recruits and stuff. Be who you are.
Did you do that when you were at Ball State recruiting?
No, I did not.
Tell me your best skit you did at Ball State 20 years ago when you were coaching, trying to get a ball player.
I will tell you. Is it legal?
Is it legal?
No. Well, okay. Yeah, a couple of them aren't.
Okay.
But I will say this much. I was recruiting a kid, me and the late, great Leonard Drake. Leonard Drake was an assistant coach with me at Ball State. He was just awesome, man. He was awesome.
He's a Brandywine guy.
He's a Buchanan guy, I think.
I thought it was Brandywine.
Played at Central Michigan.
Yep, Central Michigan.
And we were recruiting a kid. He was the head coach of Central Michigan.
Yes.
So we were recruiting a kid in Arkansas, 6'7", 6'8" kid, and him and I did the home visit together. So we go down to Arkansas, and we walk in the kid's house. And so, mind you, this was in 1990-ish. So
that was about the time the governor's name was Clinton, maybe.
Could have been. But we walk in the kid's house, and the kid's house had dirt floors.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the kid's house had dirt floors, rugs over dirt floors. And we're making the pitch. The kid's dad is there. He's about 6'7", 6'8". And we're making the pitch. We're showing pictures of the brand new arena at Ball State because at that time it was brand new.
Right. Okay.
And finally the dad gets up and he says, "Hold it, fellas," in his deep Southern drawl. He says, "Hold it, fellas." He's a huge African American man, and he sticks his hand out. His hands are huge, and his hands, every part of his hands have calluses on his hands, every part. And he says, "See my hands?" And I was afraid to say no because I didn't want him to slap me or something. I said, "Yeah, I see them. They look like catcher's mitts."
I bet.
I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, "My son can play basketball. I know he can play basketball. I don't need to see your arena. I don't need to see how many players you got back. I don't need to see none of that. I never want my son's hands to look like my hands. I want you to tell me how you're going to get my kid an education and how he's going to come out of college and he's going to not have to work like I do every day."
Mm-hmm.
Brought tears to my eyes almost. I mean, it really did because as he was saying it, he almost had tears in his eyes.
Sure.
Because he provided for his family, and it was almost like he was embarrassed that we were there in a house with dirt floors. And he wanted the best for his kids. So that's one of my feel-good recruiting stories. And then I will tell you another one, which is great.
I was waiting for you to talk about break dancing or doing some.
I never did stupid stuff like that.
You didn't take kids to the club or the horse track like Patino did in Louisville or anything like that?
No, because our recruiting budget wasn't that great. But
trying to think what you could have done in Muncie.
No, but Dick Hunsaker sent me out to Chicago, and he said, "I want you looking at this guard, Ronnie." And he said he's a prop 48, which means he had to sit out a year. And Ball State had the program where you could sit out a year, practice, but you could sit out a year. And he said, and I'm not going to mention the kid's name, but he said, "Go look at him." He said he likes us, and I like him. So I went, I looked at him, and he was playing in a game. He was a dog. He didn't bust it. He didn't run the court. He only looked for shots. He hunted shots. He didn't play hard. I came back, and he said, Ronnie, what'd you think of him? I said, I don't like him, Dick. I said, I know how hard we play, and I know how hard you demand the kids play, and he won't fit in here. He said, I really like him. He said, I want you to go see him again. He sent me to Chicago again. And so I don't mind going to Chicago because on the way to Chicago is that Denny's up there by Maryville. I'm stopping in. I'm getting
going to Denny's.
I'm getting some French onion soup.
And what's usually next to Denny's if he needs to stay someplace?
Yeah.
La Quinta.
Yeah.
La Quinta. So I go again. And he knows I'm coming. I talked to him on the phone. I said, hey, man, I'm coming to watch your game tonight against so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And so he knows I'm coming. He still is a dog. He doesn't run the floor. He doesn't hustle after any deflections. All he does is hunt shots. He's a high-volume scorer, took 25 shots to make 10, and he scores 20 points. I come back. Dick says, heck, tell me about him. I said, Dick, I don't like him. He's a dog. We don't take him.
We don't take him.
He's the all-time leading scorer in UTEP basketball history. So my point being, some of those kids in recruiting, you had to look at their surroundings and what their coach was like,
right?
And
what were they allowed to do?
Yeah, and you couldn't put your feelings in, but that was always my biggest feeling. I don't care if you miss 20 shots, but if you're a tough son of a gun, and you're just like me. Stop. Sure. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I know
exactly what you're talking about.
But so those are a couple of recruiting stories. It was a blast, though. I liked it. But you know when I stopped? You know this name. I'm going to tell you this name, what got me out of college coaching. A name from Anderson. Tim Westerfield.
Tim Westerfield. I remember the name.
Tim Westerfield was playing at a JUCO in Memphis, and he ended up signing at Boston University. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Dick sends me down to Memphis. I leave. How far is Memphis from here, guys? Maybe 8 hours?
From here, 8, 9 hours.
8, 9 hours. So I drive to Memphis. I get to a 7 o'clock game. I'm in the gym for 2.5 hours. I'm talking to Tim after the game. I get in the car, and I'm driving another 8 to 9 hours and exhausted, falling asleep. No Magic Mind. NoMagicMind.com /Ron.
Back then it was no dose.
No. Back then it was the window open and you just sticking your head out.
Start singing as loud as you can.
Yeah, but then I get back to Ball State and it's my job to get a scouting breakdown put together on Miami of Ohio. Uh-huh. So now when I get back home, I can't even crash. I got to go to the office and put a tape together for 5 hours. It was at that day I said, I'm getting out of college basketball. Because I can't tell you the number of times I almost drove off the road.
Yeah, falling asleep. I know.
Tim Westerfield.
It was his fault.
I called him and thanked him. Oh. I said, thanks, Tim. And by the way, I'm taking the Anderson job. I took the Anderson job then.
That's right. You sure did.
Hey, we need to take a break here.
We've hit halftime.
Yeah, we're past halftime. This show has been great, by the way. So John, it'd be good once you throw a few commercials out there, and then we'll come back.
Of course, we've got our great friends at Weichert Realty, Andy Kern, Jim Carpenter. If you need a new house or looking to sell or buy a house, you can see our friends. Of course, Andy Kern, the Colonel, and Jim Carpenter from Weichert Realty. Also, our good friends at Frick's Driving School. If you're 15 or 85, you can check out Frick's Driving School to get your driving lessons. You guys got some other ones over there, I think, as well? Or?
Yeah, no, we got Frick's. Talk to your boys at Frick's.
We were muted.
Well, you're not now.
Okay, we're good. Here's what I don't want to hear about. I don't want to hear about when you were sitting under a tree in a storm.
Stop it. That'll lose business on that one.
Okay.
But the story that I tell the kids is that Wagner bought me a brand new car. He got me a brand new car 20 years ago for all that, and I drove it for 3 hours, and they had to take it out from under a tree that fell across the road. And what's the chances of a tree hitting a moving car?
And you in the chest.
Yeah, I would just happen to be in that car.
That's amazing.
Well, the best story about that is when I got out of the hospital, I'm at the golf course there at Knollwood, and I used to play golf like 2-3 times a week with Coach Hadaway because he lived out there on the golf course on 14 East, and I'd go to his house and get in his cart. Well, one day it was windy and cloudy, and he said, Coach, he said, I'm going to take you up to the pro shop. He said, I don't like this weather. So you're going to have to ride in your own cart today.
I love the Hadaway was so
Hadaway
cool.
had such his sense of humor was classic. And the
He's
people
so
up here,
cool.
they would understand. He would not let me in his golf cart because it was too windy. And we were getting ready to play the West Course at Knollwood, and it's all trees.
Hey, good for Coach.
So he was just being precautionary. He was afraid. And he said, do I need a helmet? I said, helmet won't help you, that tree, dude.
No, it's coming to your chest, man.
Exactly
But
right.
Fricks is great, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're just amazing.
They've been great to me. Like I said, I've been with Fricks now for over 20 years since they closed things down at the school corporations when we used to drive driver's ed with them. We've got 3 or 4 of us driving almost every day, trying to get these kids done. It's amazing how we've got over 300 kids right now online taking their online classes, driving with us 6 times. And usually we're trying to get the kids to drive maybe once a week. Sometimes it's once every 2 weeks, depending on how we can get schedules going, because we have so many. So, I mean, if you're in the South Bend area, you really have 2 choices, and we're the main one right now. The other groups, pretty well phasing themselves out. So if you want to, teach driver's ed, the other thing I need to advertise, we need new people to drive. I'm the youngest one driving. It's all a bunch of old timers. If you're interested, get your driver's ed license to teach driver's ed. Give Jolene a call because they're always looking for new instructors.
Beautiful.
And that's the best I got on that.
Well, here's the deal. They don't want me teaching them how to drive. Trust me. Ask my lovely
your
wife. So here's the question. We're going to talk about Hahn Funeral Home for a minute.
All right, Scott might
Did
not
you-
know this. Ask
Go ahead.
Scott. Ask Scott what you're going to ask me.
No, here's what I'm going to ask you. Did you buy Pat Hahn a drink, or did he buy you a drink?
The house bought him, so we bought each other a free one.
Okay, because I want you to know, on behalf of Coach's Corner, if you bought him a drink, we'll reimburse you.
Well, we could, but we don't have to.
Okay, beautiful.
Because Woody was open bar night.
Oh,
believe it or not,
beautiful.
Tightwad, Munchkin.
Tywad Munchkin. I love Munchkin.
So they came through.
So Munchkin went to Manchester College with me. He was amazing. Hahn Funeral Homes is located at 505 West 8th Street in downtown Mish. Call us anytime at 574-255-1474 or stop in to get answers from our local funeral professionals about all your funeral needs. Hahn Funeral Homes, a family serving families. Scott, question for you. What did one casket say to the other casket?
What? I don't know.
Are you choking? Is that you choking? No, is that you coughing? I like it. I like it. And we got to go back to health insurance a time. Thanks to Tony with Health Insurance Markets. Whether you need help with your health insurance or Medicare, man, and you see Tony right on the screen there, he's the absolute best. Give him a buzz at 574-307-8882, and he will help you with whatever you need. College basketball, man.
Well, one more. Put my Fricks driving school up there because I need to do my road team of the week.
Not the Detroit Lions.
No.
Well, but we are going to stay in the NFL. It was the 4:30 ball game last night in Kansas City. Buffalo decided they wanted to come into town and make a statement. And after all the crying, although that was a nice play that Kelsey made that nice pass. Too bad somebody was lined up 2 yards off sides.
But he was.
He was.
He was. And his job is to always look to his left or look to his right, point to the official and say, am I good?
And he did not do that. And the other thing was, they were lined up so far inside. He wasn't too far away from being a tight end. What's the field judge going to do? Hey, 19, back up.
Yeah.
Or he would have had to tell one of the other guys.
Done that. Exactly.
He would have to tell one of the other guys, hey, back 19 up. But
yeah,
there's a minute, 15 to go. And I'm not gonna complain because that was first down. Now it's 1st and 15. They still had 4 plays to get a first down. And Mahomes was such a crybaby, he couldn't let it go. And I think we saw a new side of him. And because of that, the Buffalo Bills.
That's your road game of the week?
That's my road game of the week. Now, that helped Buffalo. They're now 7-6, and there are now 7 teams in the American League that the AFC that are all tied. And as happens, the Colts are 7.
Colts got beat, man.
But they went from 6 to 7, so the Colts are still in the wild card.
All right.
But every game's going to make a big difference. So without getting too involved in the NFL, which we could.
Well, I'm going to say this. So when Harry Carey was alive and the Cubs started playing good baseball, Harry, I'm going to smoke him across his chops right across the table. And he would sing. He would say, "The Cubbies are coming, tra-la, tra-la. The Cubbies are coming, tra-la, tra-la." So if Harry Carey were alive today, you know what he would have said yesterday? The Bears are coming, tra-la, tra-la. The Bears are coming, tra-la, tra-la. Bears are 5-8.
All the Detroit people tell them mute.
Yeah. Now, the Bears are 5-8. Their defense was really good. Here is, and this is for you, Q. This is for you, Q. Here is now the biggest question heading into the end of the season, 28-13, man. Will Justin Fields be your quarterback, or will you, because the Bears will have the number 1 pick of the Carolina Panthers. So the Bears will have the opportunity to say, is Caleb Williams a generational talent? Is Drake May a generational talent? Or do we think we're good enough with Justin Fields? Now, Justin Fields, if you take his last 18 games, his numbers are up there with anybody, with the exception of his fumbles. His touchdown passes, his ability to run the football, which everybody knows he's great at that. But he's got to be able to read and make throws.
I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. So you can write this one down. Write this one down.
Write this down, man.
All right.
Go ahead.
Who has the number 2 pick right now?
The number 2 pick is
the Patriots.
Is the Patriots.
So guess what Belichick's going to do? Belichick's going to come in here at number 2, and he's picking Marvin Harrison. And then he's going to turn around and trade the house for Justin Fields, bring Justin Fields to New England, and he's going to be your next Tom Brady. And Marvin Harris is going to be the next Edelman. And
John,
that's going to be the future for the Patriots.
You got any magic mind in your pocket?
I'm just telling you.
I'm waiting for my order to come out.
Write it
I
down.
don't know about
Okay, just because I have something and you haven't thought about it. I know. Yeah, the earth just shook.
That isn't going to happen, and I'll tell you why.
No.
Okay,
because
he
needs a quarterback. He needs a quarterback.
What's wrong with the Bears quarterback?
Because the Bears may decide so that's the paradox here. Do the Bears keep Justin Fields, or do they draft a generational talent like Williams or Drake May? If you want to say they're generational talents. Because Caleb Williams did not have a great year this year.
No.
And Drake May was hurt this year, didn't play a full season. So will the Bears do this? Now, I thought you were going in a totally different direction.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's where I thought you were going. That Bill Belichick has his mind set on one of those 2 quarterbacks.
No.
Whether it's May or Caleb Williams, and he would trade the Bears for the number 1 pick so he could take one of those 2 quarterbacks. And if the Bears are saying we're going to keep Justin Fields, then I would see the Bears trading one of those
either 2 picks, 1 and 3.
Pick 2 or pick 3, and then letting one of those teams take a quarterback and the Bears take Marvin Harrison.
I like my idea. My idea is kind of like Costner on that movie he made when he was the Browns.
It's called Draft Day.
Yeah, Draft Day. I kind of like mine because it's a little.
Right.
It's not predictable.
Okay.
You didn't think of it, did you?
No, I don't think of stupid shit sometimes. I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, so now
Sometimes. John, I'm sorry.
No, you're
because
fine.
I said take Marvin Harris at number 2. That's stupid shit. Okay, that's fine. Now what happens when we get into what is it, April or May, and it happens? I'm going to go.
No, you're not. Because if it happens, I'm taking you to dinner. And if it doesn't happen, you're taking me to dinner.
We may have to go to the draft just because.
And if it doesn't happen, you're taking me to dinner. But here's the scenario that I think because it's New England and it's Arizona, and if the Bears are not going to take a quarterback, and if the Bears are going to stay with Justin Fields, then I see them trading one of or that first round pick to either New England or whoever pick number 3 is, and getting a haul and then taking Marvin Harrison. I see the Bears taking Marvin Harrison. But you could be right if they're going to trade Justin Fields.
I'm just matter now. Who's the Patriots going to dangle out in front of them? I don't know. They could always go a number, the second round, third round, whatever, plus a couple players.
A second round.
Or a first round next year.
Yeah, I mean, do you think Justin Fields is worth the first round next year? Or I would say he's worth the second or third round.
Not my place.
That's right.
You want to talk to Q?
Q. I'm going to smack Coach King for you.
You're going to smack some folks for me? Okay. So you got King on the list. I know you got yourself on the list. Overmeyer being a Detroit fan, he's exempt, so that's good. So, fire away.
No. So, Q, tell me.
Yeah.
You're drinking the Kool-Aid. I know you are. I think we got a shot at going 9-8, right?
If you're going to drink that Kool-Aid, and the playoffs have officially started yesterday, and do your Christmas shopping and your playoff prayers at the same time. The Bears right now, they're playing their best football they're playing their best football they've played since 2018 right now, which is kind of sad if you really think about it. But the other trip here is I don't need anybody singing Bad Harry Carey homages and all that good crap.
The Cubbies are coming.
Also, Coach King and Overmeyer and everyone else, I feel your pain because God knows I've heard hex bad jokes for 30 years.
We got the power to hang up on you, brother. You better say something nice to me quickly.
You look good in green, but week 18, green is officially banned.
Q, I was going to send you a free shipment of Magic Mind, but now I'm not.
And Merry Christmas to you, too.
You need it more than I do, brother.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Love you, Q. See you, buddy.
Merry Christmas, guys. Everybody stay safe.
All right, thanks for calling in.
Man, I'm taking it today.
We didn't get anything solved, did we?
I'm taking it today. So, anyway.
All right, wait a minute.
We got nothing solved in college basketball.
Right. Ryan Holster, one of my golf buddies from WSBT, says, keep Fields, take Martin. They're not going to do that.
Thank you.
Ryan,
I've said it.
You guys.
John, give me a question.
All right, this is a golf question, actually. So maybe King can answer this,
Yeah,
since he's got crazy ideas anyway.
Well, you're going to be talking about a crazy guy,
All right.
I think. So
Your
go
thought-
ahead.
Okay, John Rahm's going to the LIV. What does that do to the PGA with him taking all that money going to the LIV?
I think immediately it takes publicity-wise, they're taking a major hit. Here's the Masters champion. Granted, he's from Spain, so he's over here playing on the American Tour. But the PGA is really struggling right now for an identity. And I think one of the things you saw this past weekend, they had a co-ed tournament on TV from Naples with guys and girls. It was kind of fun to watch. You had Ricky Fowler and what's the girl's name that got the hole-in-one this weekend? Lexi Thompson got a hole-in-one. They were partners, and they had a 3-day event. I liked it. But I think they're doing different things to attract people's attention instead of just having stroke play every week. And I think that's a good thing. But again, here's John Rahm, who is a Spaniard, so he has the freedom to play in Europe. He plays in the United States. Now he's going to go with the LIV and play in Saudi Arabia. And I think what they're showing people is that all the Americans that are doing the human interest stuff saying this is blood money, this, that, and the other. That's not necessarily true. This is oil money, and it's deep. and they're showing, the LIV is showing how deep their pockets really are. And I think what it's going to do is eventually it's going to force the PGA to make some big decisions. And it's going to, McIlroy's been a big promoter of the PGA, and I think they're going to have to force him, and Tiger Woods too.
And what's it all about?
It's all about money.
It's about money. It's about money.
It's all about money.
Everything now.
And
everything's about money.
Sure it is.
College athletics is not college athletics anymore.
They're throwing money
it's
at them.
It's about money.
They're throwing money at them. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
What do we got? We got another question.
And that's the point. Who's John Rahm going to take with him? Because he's going to. They play team golf over there along with individual. Who's he going to take with him? Is he going to take Cantlay with him? Who were some of the guys during the Ryder Cup that they were complaining about? Cantlay and his buddy Xander Schauffele. So don't be surprised if those two don't go with him. So stay tuned. I don't think that's over.
I'm saying, Johnny, give me another one.
This is a question about high school football. Should every state have instant replay in football?
Well, that sounds good, but but how about us getting a shot clock in basketball before we get instant replay?
Everybody
should
have
money.
One.
It's about money. An instant replay, having an instant replay official. I should have instant replay at my house, for God's sake.
And practicality.
Honey, I never said this. Yeah. Throw the flag.
Throw the flag. If you say, you'd be a good commercial,
let's
wouldn't you?
He'd be a great commercial.
Let's do instant replay. No, I don't. I don't think there's enough money to be able to do that.
They can't do it. I mean, because you'd have to have television at every ball game.
Right.
And they'd have to be using our broadcasts during football for replay.
Yep.
And we don't, and it's one camera from the press box. You don't have 8, 12, 15 cameras from different angles to look at.
So while I'm on this subject, should we have a shot clock in basketball?
No, not yet. Although I think they will have one. That'll happen before they get instant replay.
Oh no, I say shot clock's coming in maybe next year.
It may be. You might be right.
I say the excitement of not holding the ball for the last 2 minutes. I say, because shot clock basketball, when that clock gets down to 6 or 7 seconds, there's some great moves that players will attempt because they're not getting hollered at for taking that shot.
Go get a shot.
Yeah, you got to go get one. I love the shot. I didn't like it when I was coaching at Anderson because for a 3-year period, when we had the lead after the third quarter,
spread the floor,
or we were leading in the fourth, we were 52 and zip with the four corner. But I think now it's time. Got another one, Johnny?
Got one more question.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic for us too. Go ahead.
Why do you think South Bend basketball, who has a combined record of 16-4, which is the best since 2012, is doing so well right now? All four schools right now 16-4 to start the year.
South Bend Riley 5-0.
Yep.
But that could change this week. South Bend Riley got a tough schedule this week. Tuesday at Northridge.
It's all called scheduling.
And South Bend St. Joseph. Great scheduling.
It's all called scheduling.
South Bend Washington.
It's still too early.
No, it's real early.
Ask us that question in January.
So South Bend Washington plays or will host Glenn on Friday and host Warsaw or go to Grace College and play Warsaw. That'll be a tough game for Washington.
Well, and see, I watched Concord the other night, and I thought Concord was really struggling. And they're 5-1. I didn't think they looked good at all. And they beat Penn at Penn this last weekend.
They beat Penn, and they're giving up 39 points a game.
Yeah. That tells you the shot clocks will make a big difference.
Yeah,
to them.
now they have a test against Mishawaka on Friday night. You're talking about Penn, South Bend St. Joe 3-2. So I mean, losing to Goshen on Saturday night.
Goshen's winning ball games, but again, the shot clock will affect Northern Lakes teams more than it will.
No, I agree. I saw Goshen play Marion though, and I thought Goshen was okay. Well, and I didn't think they were great.
And can Carmel play without a shot clock?
Here's the good one, and Johnny B. Bad will like this one. South Bend Clay.
Yes.
3-2. Well, the last time Clay was 3-2,
the Dead Sea
was only sick.
That's right, exactly.
See, I knew that one.
Yeah, no,
but Dead Sea was only really sick.
Yeah.
And Moby Dick.
I agree.
And Moby Dick was
only a minnow.
Only a minnow. So
Q, I got him, Q.
He got
I got
me,
him.
man.
I
He
got
got
him.
me. He got me. John, are we about to that time?
Yeah, we are about
Hey,
to that time, actually.
Before we
Let's update on the
Okay,
national
go ahead.
championship game in soccer. Clemson leads Notre Dame 2-0 late. So it looks
Oh,
like
no.
Clemson's going to win the national title.
Oh,
I was just
no.
going to say Saturday's a big day in Indianapolis. Saturday's a big day in Indianapolis. You've got basketball. You've got Ball State and Indiana State
Chirp,
at 1:30. And at 4:30, the main feature is Purdue and Arizona, number 1 and number 3. And at the same time, the Colts are playing the Steelers across the street.
And at the same
Lucas
time, IU's hosting Kansas.
Yeah, down at
So
Assembly Hall.
how about that?
That's another L.
How about that? Well, no. So IU 7-2.
IU's doing fine.
IU's
But
7-2.
they go down to Atlanta and lay an egg.
Yeah,
What's that
against
all-
Auburn.
Now here's the thing. Here and all you do is again, and we'll leave you IU people think about this. What do we talk about every year come tournament? The Big Ten teams can't play against SEC teams because it's a whole different clientele of people. Well, what happens? They don't play defense, and Auburn throws up what's it?
92-86.
Auburn throws up 104.
Yeah, but 92-86, Purdue beats Alabama. But here's what I'm going to say about that. Matt Painter cannot be
He can't
happy
be
with
happy.
that.
That's 2 in a row.
88 and 86 points given up.
He's giving up a lot of points right now.
Here is
46-3, 19 of 46.
Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't think Purdue is the same team that they were last year. I think they're much better because I think Braden Smith is really matured, and that year under his belt, he's a really good high school basketball player now.
And Lawyer's
College
scoring some
basketball
points. Lawyer's scoring
Matter
some
with me.
points. Now they got to find some consistency with their 4s and 5s because they're playing so many of them that they can't get first. First didn't getting like as many minutes. He's only playing like 20, 22 minutes instead of 30. And I think he's used to playing a lot more.
Put him in the portal. Put him in the portal.
I don't think that'll happen. I think
Put him in the portal.
He enjoys being there too much.
Hey, thanks to Tony Letcher again with Health Markets Insurance. They're the best. Give them a buzz. There it is right there on the screen. Great having you down here with us, Scott. You're the best. Johnny, be good. Absolutely the best. You turn the dials. You make us look halfway decent. My partner over here, Patrick J. King. Love you, man.
We got our nice little Christmas tree back here hiding in
Got
the
a
corner.
Christmas tree.
The lighting here obviously is a little different tonight because at 7:00 they turn the lights down. Mood lighting.
That's all right.
So you'll buy more food or something. So in the meantime, we'll wear light shirts next week. How's that? So you can see us.
I don't really want anybody to see me.
He's
Anyway.
like wearing a green shirt and a green
I'm just
screen here.
saying. Okay, thanks.
We got one
Thanks
more
for tuning
show
in.
next week. We got one more show before break.
See ya.